We're gonna ask it anyway.
Feels good.
But I'm curious, how close do you think you are to getting back to how you normally feel in the game? Or don't you feel like the other night?
I feel like I'm there.
Curious since I've seen you on the offense, you got in the post. How much would you like to have that even be more involved in the offense? Maybe you get some of those light shows and want to run that with.
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for it. You know, I always want to keep it sharp. Maybe late game situations, you know, when the defense shrinks and we need a tough bucket, you know, just get to my bread and butter. But, you know, majority of the time we want to play in flow, we want to play free and, you know, create the easiest looks for everybody.
Devin, when you've spent this is the third season, I think, with Grayson, how have you seen him grow, not just in his skill development, but the ways that Jordan Knight is now able to use him and compliment to you and also to kind of set you up too?
Yeah, I mean, he's been that secondary ball handler a lot with Jalen out. You know, I think his shooting ability opens up everything for him. And that's not saying anything that his handle's not there. His handle's there. You know, his slow steps around the rim, his finishing. He's more athletic than people give him credit for. So, you know, he's been doing it all.
This is the most efficient you've been personally, just in the paint and at the rim in your career so far. Just what goes into that, kind of honing that and becoming better at finishing through contact?
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
That's surprising.
76% of the rim right now.
Okay.
Like fifth amongst all guards.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's just a test to our offense, the space that we have out there. A lot with Mark, you know, at the rim, sealing his man. And then the dynamic with Oso off the bench, too, giving us, you know, a lot of space in there.
You mentioned that stealing your own man. Is that goal top screen that you all have?
Yeah.
Did you play with Martian? I forgot.
No.
He was on the Sun.
Yeah. I wasn't there.
Is that something that ever since you got in the league they started teaching from John?
Yeah. You know, you see a lot of guards that, you know, put guys in jail, you know, get to that a lot. And, you know, there's not many chances you get a easy layup at the rim. So, you know, it's a good rhythm play. And it's unselfish play from the big.
You see the amount of doubles that you do in pick and roll. Like, some people are playing for playing quarterback. You want to make a quick read. Sometimes it's also want to kind of manipulate the ball with that make it to you. What kind of goes into kind of balancing that over the course of the game against teams like Golden State that send a lot of seasons?
Yeah, I'd just say time and place. You know, just feeling it out. You know, sometimes you don't want to show your cards too early. Wait for a time that we need it. You know, either to break a run from them or, you know, like I said, late game situation, fourth quarter. But, you know, I think the good defenses do a good job of, you know, not showing you the same coverage the whole game. You know, they know good players will get accustomed to that and dissect it. But, you know, the quicker you can read what they're doing and, you know, our spacing behind it with everybody else, you know, the better.
I asked Jordan yesterday about y'all being fourth in the league in offensive rebound rate. And it's kind of a shock like being convinced there. How you go and get a good look at the basket when you really have 14? Jordan mentioned y'all have a lot of guards that are grabbing those boards, so it's not easy to just go right back up with you versus if you need this.
Yeah. So what's the question?
Like a shorter shot clock. How do you go to find just a quick action, maybe just go one-on-one and get a quick look at the basket?
You said, how do we do that?
Yeah, like how do you, when you have less time and you have to go pull it out from the basket?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we drill it. You know, it's controlled random. It's not always bringing the five-man up to set a screen. Sometimes that takes too much time. So, you know, a lot of guard to guard, which you see a lot of people in the NBA doing. Sometimes a guard will, you know, hip tap and roll. Sometimes, you know, they won't even set the screen and just ghost out of it. So, you know, the quicker you can get to that and break down the defense, you know, to get a better look. And, you know, we drill that often.
As you get closer to your shoot being released, what kind of motions or energy do you gain from knowing that next month it will be here and what tools will be out?
Yeah, it's always exciting, you know, just to see people wear them around the league, a highly favored in the W, and, you know, just seeing people in the streets. And, you know, I just love to continue to tell stories. So more stories on the way.
Is there
final checklist before next month, or is everything done? It's just a matter of
Nah, they're locked in. You know, so now we're cooking up colors, man. We're waiting on. We're years ahead, so you know it's cool to see it come to life. But you know, it's been cooking for a minute.
You've had a lot of community involvement since you've been in Phoenix, obviously the last 2 or so years. But just around this time of the year, around season giving, just you personally and then collectively as the team, like how big is that for you guys?
Super important. I had an event last night here at the facility. Through my starting five foundation, through Phoenix Suns charities, and it's the second year in a row that we've done it here at the facility, and you know it's always a great turnout. A lot of smiles on faces, and you know that's what it's about.
Thank you, Chef.